Hi, this is Dr. Mahmoud Al-Odeh again with Lean Six Sigma Workshop. And on this video, we will be talking about the Lean Six Sigma evolution and where this is coming from and why is it become a popular. In the previous video, just a cap on the previous video. In the previous video, we talked about Deming cycle, the plan, do, chicken act. And then we did talk about the Ishikawa chart. We did talk about Togoshi, the lose function, and design of experiment. The last person that I want to talk about it that I thought maybe we could maybe talk about it in a little bit more details. The lose function is in the previous thinking, we were thinking as long as we give the customer the product or the service within the specification limits, the customer will be happy. The truth is, no, this is not the truth. As long as you give the customer what they want, exactly the target they want, they will be happy. If you moved from the target, the customer will be unhappy. So you're losing a customer. This is where the lose function concept coming from. So look at here on this left side, the orange, this is where the customer would be happy. The most happiest customer would be on day 5. On day 3 or 7, if you give a customer an orange on day 3, the customer will not be happy as in day 5. So as long as you are far away from the target, the customer will be unhappy and you will gain unsatisfied customer. Same thing here for the on the right side. Look, in the middle of this curve would be the target. As long as you give the customer the target, exactly the target with a small variation, that's okay. Now, the far you go from the target, the more customers will be unsatisfied. Lean Six Sigma, the popularity of Lean Six Sigma came from Motorola, where Bill Cohen is an engineer, and in the 1986, he came up with this standardized the way for defects. And he said, okay, well, Six Sigma will give us the opportunity instead of, going over the plan, do, check, and act, the PDCA cycle, BDCA cycle, we could maybe use something to improve the quality by measuring the defects in millions of opportunities. And since that time, several companies, not only Motorola, such as Citibank's, General Electric, Allied Signal, and others, they used this technique and they found it a very helpful technique. And then they saved a lot of money. Like here in this example, Motorola, they saved 16 billion in savings because of the Lean Six Sigma effort. What are the Lean Six Sigma effort, and what are the factors that will impact Lean Six Sigma? First of all, we need to talk about comprehensive, how this technique is a comprehensive. This technique is a project-based approach. It's a cohesive process-based approach, a quantitative approach, and commitment from all levels of the organization. Start with the first one. The first character of the Lean Six Sigma is, or the Six Sigma in particular, is comprehensive methodology. This is a comprehensive methodology which include the best practices from all traditional techniques. So we look into all traditional techniques from before, and we say, okay, well, this is we could put it on one of the phases. So as long as we're following these phases, the DMAC phases, we could implement the 7 quality control charts, the 7 techniques, and we could use different techniques from before. So it is comprehensive, include the traditional and new techniques. The Six Sigma DMAC methodology looks like the whole project life cycle, including the define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, with well-defined tools and methodology at each stage. It links directly to business goals. So this is the nice thing. Sometimes companies, they can't align their goals with their initiatives. So they do this and that. A lot of efforts has been doing in the company, but is there a direct link with these goals and objectives? Sometimes no. They're good goals, but these goals, good initiatives, but are they related to the goals? Maybe not. Since the Six Sigma methodology is comprehensive and well-defined, it can be used by companies across different businesses, including manufacturing, finance, technology, construction, engineering, healthcare, and you could name it. And also different sizes, big or small, medium, maybe even less than 13 employees can implement the Six Sigma. It's a project-based approach, which is basically not as in before. Before maybe maybe most of the process improvement based on individual efforts, but now in this, we use the project management methodology, project planning tools like project plan, Gantt chart, PERT chart, and planning tree. These all tools that we could use it in the Six Sigma technique, and different project management and knowledge area could fit into the Six Sigma, such as project management, project integration management, scope management, time management, cost, quality, human resource management, communication risk management, recruitment, and purchasing management all could fit under the Six Sigma as well. So it is using some of the project management methodology and knowledge of areas implemented in the Six Sigma. Cohesive, detailed process map created during the initial phase of initial phase of the Six Sigma. This will provide an overview of complex process in an organization, identify relationship. As long as you bring the details, you will be able to uncover the details. You will be able to uncover the relationship in the interdependencies between the process and uh, uh, and the processes, between the processes and the issues, the problems that we have. Finance department is also could be involved in a Six Sigma project. Six Sigma methodology can involve different aspects within an organization, including people, equipment, environment, material, and identify the projects which can provide maximum benefit to the organization. Uh, cohesive process based approach helps getting a holistic view of the organization and identify potential problem area. Six Sigma project can then be fixing these problems once they are identified. So it is a cohesive, provide all the details, give you a holistic view, involvement from different departments such as the finance could be involved in there. It's a quantitative approach. Six Sigma, as I mentioned, it's based on the data. We can't make a decision. We cannot make a decision based on opinion. There are several traditional techniques in the past used to be good, but however, there's no standard for that. But by using a rigorous quantitative and statistical techniques such as Six Sigma, this will provide mathematical analysis to determine which project will provide the maximum benefit and revenue for organization, reduce the cost as well. This is another aspect of the Six Sigma. Six Sigma project have measurable and quantifiable goals and associated costs. So once we talk about the SMART goals, the specific, measurement, applicable, or what we call the measurable, whether we call it SMART goals or measurable, these are all will fit into the Lean Six Sigma and the Six Sigma in particular. So Six Sigma, it's directed, a link to the goals, links to the initiatives. So there's not just gonna, any effort will go without benefiting from it. Following this data-driven technique helps ensure the project goals align with the organizational goals. There are long-term benefits as well. We're not looking into just the short-term benefits. We're looking into the long-term benefits as well in order to achieve. Commitment from all levels. Six Sigma, it's a project base, and we need people such as executive management to be involved. We need the master black belts and black belts to be consultant and expert in the Six Sigma. They are responsible for providing guidance and coaching, and the green belt is liaison between black belts and the project team. Okay, so we have a commitment from all levels. Executive management is responsible to provide the resources. Master black belt and black belt provide the guidance and consultants to the coach, to the green belts, and green belts are responsible to implement the project and they are the connection, the liaison between the black belts and the project team. So the black belt, basically, they're managing the teams. So as you see, there are a lot of different levels involved with the Six Sigma projects, starting from the executive management, black belt or master black belt, and a Six Sigma green belt. The project team works in executing the actual work of the project through guidance provided by Six Sigma green belts and Six Sigma black belt. So there's a team under the green belt in which will be working with green belt and the black belt to implement the solutions. Subject matter expert should be, if we're working on a different field such as finance, you have to bring an accountant with you to be involved. Of course, training is really important. You have to provide training and motivation for your people to be able to achieve their goals. Having a well-defined organization structure helps in creating a feeling of shared ownership and responsibility, which can be critical in successful project implementation. You need to show the organization structure, identify the responsibilities for each one, and this will give a relaxation and enjoyment in work. The team will be understanding what the scope, what's the goal of the project, of the Six Sigma project. Okay, what are the goals of the Lean Six Sigma? Lean Six Sigma objectives. One is refers to decreasing the number of defects. So this is the number one goal of Lean Six Sigma. We need to reduce the defects to 3.4 millions, 3.4 defects per million opportunities. And we need to reduce the variation. Six Sigma philosophy strives to perfection. We need to have a perfection in the process. And we need, in order to have a perfection, we have to carefully define the process, define, analyze, and measure the processes. And then once you define, analyze, and measure, you could easily improve the process capability. It relies greatly on statistical techniques. As I mentioned, it's a data-driven technique, so we need to look into the data in order to make decisions. Six Sigma is a comprehensive quality methodology that can be used clearly understand an organization business process and customer needs, and either redesign the business process or provide and make incremental process improvement as desired. So a comprehensive, which means looking into the whole view, the holistic view, the big picture of the process, and align the process with the customer needs in order to reduce the variation. The whole goal is to reduce the variation. And by reducing the variation, you will be able to reach to this goal, which is 3.4 defects per million opportunities. DPMO. Some highlights of Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a business philosophy and a top management driven. So it is coming from management. As we mentioned, the executive management, they are responsible to provide all the resources they need in order to implement the project. Six Sigma is a problem solving methodology. Also, it is a metric to measure quality and process reliability. Six Sigma focuses on both customers and bottom lines. It is highly quantitative approach to fixing quality problems. These are just a highlight on what we, how we deal with the Six Sigma. Six Sigma scores improvement. The variation will be reduced as long as you improve as long as you are able to achieve the goal of the Six Sigma, you will see the variation has been reduced. And therefore, the reliability of the process will improve. And then, of course, what the result is improving customer satisfaction and, of course, reducing the need for rework. Here's a Six Sigma score. If you are having a project with a 2 Sigma, you will be you will have a 308,000 defects per million opportunity. If you have if you achieve this 3 Sigma, that would be about 67,000 defects per million. If you achieved a 4 sigma, a level of a 4 sigma in your product or service, that would be about 6,000 defects per million opportunities. If you achieve the goal of a 5 sigma, that would be a 233 defects. If you achieve the 6 sigma level, that would be 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So the sigma here, I'm just going to talk about the sigma. What is the sigma? The sigma is the standard deviation. How far you are from the goal. Are you far 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation, or 3 standard deviation, or 4, or 5, or 6? Of course, the more you are far from the target, which is the mean, that would be result in losing customers, and also will be increasing the defects in your process. I'll be sharing with you a graph, and in the next video, hopefully, I just remember that it's really important to show you the graph and how the 6 sigma is related. But in terms of the numbers, here's what your level of achievement. If you achieve the 2 sigma level, this is what you get, how many defects. If you achieve the 4 sigma level, this is what you get, 6,210, etc. So the goal is for the 6 sigma is to reach to 3.4 defects per million opportunities. I'm going to stop right here, and we'll see you in another video. Thank you.